men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
Welcome back to Sigma Chronicles, where we don't chase trends. We break down the truth behind them.
Men who've been single for too long. If you've been single for a long time and you've been waiting for the right woman to come along, just stop. Getting the right woman is dependent on two things: your value as a man and just a little bit of luck. You can't control when the right woman comes along, but you can control who she meets. You can meet the right woman one day and she can ghost you because you're not the right man for her. The only thing that you should be focusing on is raising your value as a man and as a partner. Get into good shape, get financially stable, really strengthen your sense of discipline, and get yourself prepared to be a good partner in a relationship. You have to keep improving and growing in all aspects of your life. As you climb that ladder, you are going to find that women are going to come to you, and then you get to choose who you want to be with. And for some, I know it can be hard to climb that ladder. And in that case, I would recommend talking to an expert, someone to help you get that boost so that you can take that next step.
Back in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's the third date, fourth date, a week later. He hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they are like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships.
In today's dating world, something has shifted, and it's louder than anyone wants to admit. For decades, men were told to chase, to pursue, to impress. But now, they're stepping back. A quiet rebellion is unfolding, and it's changing the entire landscape.
So, over 60% of Gen Z men are single, and intimacy is at a 30-year low across both genders. So if you look at this graph right here, you see about 30% of US adults are single. But if you go to the men age 18 through 29, that goes to 63%, compared to women in that same age group at 34%. What's going on here? After reading the article, no one fucking knows. They try to personalize it saying men can choose differently, but ultimately it's a societal issue as the statistics indicate that. Men can do things differently, but if such a large portion of men are trending in a certain way, it's a societal issue. But what do y'all think about this? Do men need to seek relationships at a young age right now, or should they just sit back and focus on themselves? Let me know.
Men are no longer competing for attention that isn't reciprocated. They're no longer investing effort into conversations that go nowhere. They're choosing silence over disrespect and distance over drama.
This is where I feel frustrated, is where I just think that it just doesn't make sense to me how women are not being asked out on dates. Like, there are so many beautiful women, like, come on, like, just shoot your shot. But a lot of the things that the guys were telling me, and these were guys from the ages of like 19 to 40, was like, no, we don't want to intimidate a woman. If we see them on the street, like, we'll cross the road so that they feel safe.
I do that.
No, we don't want to come across creepy. True. So I do see that obviously culture has really like removed this from the man, this kind of like the art of the chase. And then that, I think, in effect, is making more men passive.
A lot of this has to do with, of course, feminism, but the hashtag #MeToo movement. The level of awareness on sexual harassment, which is a good thing, the awareness needed to be there, but there has been such a level of overcorrection, so much to the point that even a man just approaching you on the street is harassment. And the issue what a lot of men see is you can have two guys do the exact same approach, one's harassing her and one is received well. And the only difference is that she sees one as being attractive.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but that's not really fair.
It's not fair, but for a lot of good men, they're like, okay, well, the only way I'm gonna know if you find me attractive is if I approach you. But if I get it wrong and you don't, that's a harassment case. So for a lot of men, it's like, it's not worth the risk.
And suddenly, many women who once felt secure in endless options are feeling the pressure. Because the truth is simple. A marketplace only works when both sides participate. Right now, one side is walking away.
50% of men in 2023 were single and not looking for any type of relationship or any type of interaction with women. And when they were surveyed, most of them admitted to just completely giving up on dating and relationships in general. We live in a time where we have social media, we have all of these different dating apps, we have this abundance of platforms and different ways that we can meet new people, yet there's more people that are single and admitting to be lonely than ever before. There was a study done by Morgan Stanley. I got this from a Chris Williamson podcast, and it says in 2040, 45% of women aged between the ages of 25 and 40 will be single and childless. Those stats are pretty alarming, and you have to ask the question, how did we get here?
63% of men under 30 are single, and more than half of them aren't even trying to date. Why do you think that is? What do you think the root cause of that is?
And I feel like a lot of younger men that are single, that aren't even trying, they don't want to dedicate the time. They want to build their business. They want to make it to the gym. They want to travel. They want to do it. And you know what? Finding a real relationship is work. It's not that they can't get dates. It's that they can't get the right ones.
The energy has flipped. The demand has shifted. And for the first time in a long time, men are the ones setting boundaries.
Why do so many intelligent men stay single? Here's the problem. A lot of intelligent men actually have interesting personalities, interesting lifestyles. They have a lot to offer to a woman. They have great jobs. They have great businesses. But due to their intelligence, they often think too much and act too little. If you overthink a lot, because you're good at thinking, because you're good at analyzing, then generally speaking, you don't tend to take as much action. You don't tend to execute as much. That means when you see a woman you're actually interested in, you're not going to go and approach her. Instead, you're going to think about it. That's why a lot of men get to their limits in social interactions, especially with women, because they tend to overthink as much and they don't take any action. Intelligence doesn't automatically lead to execution. And if you never walk up to a woman, and if you never dare to step outside of your comfort zone, then you're just not going to be able to think yourself into new experiences. And that's exactly why so many intelligent men stay single, stay alone, stay stuck.
How does a woman take care of a man?
What do you mean?
How should a woman take care of a man?
She shouldn't have to.
At all?
No.
Then why should a man date a woman?
What kind of question is that?
Like, what value would you provide to a man?
What? That's a crazy question.
What do you mean?
You shouldn't have to provide some value to a man.
Then what's the point of the relationship?
What value do they provide to us?
Protecting you, providing for you.
This is exactly why so many men are just done with dating. Because I have said this before and I will say it again. A man is taught his entire life how to treat a woman. But a woman is taught her entire life how to be treated by a man, not how to treat a man. Ladies, if you want the benefits of a man, you need to put forth some amount of effort. It doesn't even need to be as much effort as him. It just needs to be something, because that is what indicates to a man that you're actually interested in him. And honestly, when one person is carrying all of the load of the relationship, well, how is that fun?
You hear it everywhere, women asking, where did all the good men go? But the answer is uncomfortable. They didn't disappear. They simply stopped volunteering for situations that drain their time and peace.
Why don't guys want relationships anymore?
With the chance of no string attached hookups and swiping on dating apps, why would anyone invest in something that they'll never be good enough in? Because that's how guys feel majority of the time. Not good enough, which is honestly just a cowardly excuse to treat women like crap. So you see, I am fully with people falling in love, but I'm totally against people falling in love just because they were guilt tripped into it. So let's stop.
The number one struggle with high-profile independent women is that they can't find a man that they actually can find to be feminine with. The number one issue that a lot of men struggle with these type of women is that, oh, they're too aggressive, oh, they're too masculine, oh, they're too all those things. But in actuality, they just lack a layer of self-confidence in themselves to lead these women. These women don't want to bust their asses outside all day long trying to get that bag just to come home to be exactly that. They want to lean into that feminine energy. They want to be in that soft girl. But if they see a guy that can't stand on business, and if worse, brings them down in their moments of success because they're inferior, it's going to affect the relationship. What this type of woman requires is a man who is empowered with himself, who early on in dating is owning the fact that he has stuff and also doesn't. That's right, he doesn't have to have it all figured out, and he's able to see your successes as his success. He's able to see your wins and crushing in the office as his wins. And if he can't find that, then we have to keep it moving, and you know there will be a man out there that is able to give you that. And if you need help to navigate this love and dating space and need help on your healing, link in the bio. I'd love to work with you.
Men watch the dating standards become lopsided. They saw bare minimum effort praised like it was gold. They saw entitlement replace appreciation and expectations replace reciprocity. So they said, enough.
Guys don't want to go on dates. Let me tell you, I'll be honest. A guy doesn't choose to go on a date because he likes dates. 95% of guys don't like dates. They buy on your company. And the way they buy your company, they know that you like those things. So they'll take you out on a date because they know you'll say yes. It's the higher chance that I get to spend time with you. If I say, Chomi, let's go to the tree and I'll buy you knickknacks, you're gonna think twice about going there. But if I say, let's go to Tasha's and let's have a meal,
you don't have to say under the tree.
Why must I spend my money to get to know you if you're also looking for someone for companionship? Why can't you also compromise and say, okay, let's not go on a date like where you must spend 1.5, 2K. Let's go and do something like ice cream.
If she agrees to simple dates, that's actually how you know if she's feeling you or not. Because remember, when you take her on your dates, it's you assessing, do I like this person? So I think first dates, you shouldn't go crazy. An operation I would say is first dates, propose something cheap, like coffee, something non-hectic. She has to earn going to a high level.
Yes. No.
If listen, if she says no to a first date to coffee, it means she's saying buy me.
Yes.
And if she's saying buy me, I'm saying my brother.
Leave red flag. Yes.
This is not bitterness. This is not revenge. This is self-respect taking the wheel.
Why guys don't want a relationship? Stay for the whole video, you'll actually learn something. Let's say I'm a cashier at a clothing store. You walk into that clothing store and you see the most amazing, beautiful dress on the clothing rack. You try on the dress fits you perfectly, you look amazing in it, and then you realize it's $2,000. Okay, no problem, you got $2,000, you're a richie, you're a baddie, okay. So you go to the front desk and you see the cashier, which is me, and you say, okay, I'm ready to pay for this dress. I want this dress. I gotta have this dress. I tell you, you've got two options to get the dress. You can either pay full price plus tax for the dress, so $2,000 plus tax for the dress, or you can walk out of that store with the dress in your hand for free, and I won't do anything. I won't chase you down. You could just get it for free. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk out of that store as fast as you can with the dress in your hand for free and not pay anything. Why? Because I offered you the option of taking the dress for free without doing anything. The same way, if you're gonna give me what I want as a man, which is the squirtle in between your legs, then why would I be motivated or inspired to do anything or be anyone for you? Nothing changes for me. I still get access to the same squirtle. It's just that one version requires my commitment, my effort, my focus, my time, and my energy, and the other version requires nothing from me except a little bit of validation and attention every now and again that I can give whenever I'm free. Why would you pay for a dress when someone is willing to give it to you for free?
When a man realizes his energy is valuable, he stops chasing what doesn't value him. And this realization has spread like wildfire. Men aren't playing the game anymore because the game stopped being worth playing.
So I'm out having dinner with my girl. And I want y'all to just notice something. There's women, all eating there. They're everywhere. Oh my God. I am seeing something, a trend. Girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date.
All right, real quick, man. Yo, what did y'all do? How is it a whole restaurant full of females and not one dude? I'm not gonna lie, son. I am scared. I am petrified for the future. Nobody goes on dates no more. Like, let's go get some coffee. Let's go have dinner. Maybe catch a movie. Damn. Y'all just DM and get straight to the fucking? I used to be excited to go on a date. Like, I'm not gonna lie, man. I making sure the fit was straight. I smell nice. I know she gonna be bad. Like, it's gonna be a vibe. Y'all done scarred them boys, man. Damn. You ask where the dudes at, I'm telling you. They in the goulash. They just caught 20 kills and then got bodied.
Why do intelligent men stay single?
Because they overthink a lot and they get stuck in their head, because in their jobs, in their careers, in their businesses, they're rewarded for filtering their communication and for being very logical. And then they transfer the same habit onto the date, which doesn't work very well because women come to the date because they want to experience emotions. But if you tell stories on a date, the way you communicate with your manager or your peers or your employees in a very logical, stern and serious fashion, that's not going to create emotions of desire within her. So what we have to do, if we want to find a healthy relationship on eye level, we have to create attraction. And that's done through effective storytelling.
Modern dating promised freedom, but what it delivered was confusion. It offered countless choices, but it killed genuine connection. And now the consequences are surfacing.
Why don't guys want relationships anymore?
Because why invest in something that's going to hurt? You see, I don't think this is a gender bias thing. I think in general, less and less people are interested in relationships because why do you need them? You have the chance to hook up with somebody with a swipe on an app. Fill that little void of missing affection and then go back to your life with no strings attached. I know guys will say that every girl's the same and no girl wants a nice guy. And girls will say that no guy wants a relationship, all they want to do is hook up. And I think the common thing...
Men are giving up on dating. And one of the reasons why is because of women's expectations. One of the main reasons why women have such unrealistic expectations is because of social media, and let me tell you why. So women are often fueled by what they see on social media. It seems like everywhere you look online, there are images of perfect couples, luxury, exotic vacation, lavish gifts, and this is very, very toxic because this is not even real. It's just social media. And these things create an unrealistic standard for women because they expect that from a partner. And men feel like they need to be wealthy or constantly shower women with gifts to be able to measure up. And it's a lot of pressure. It can leave men thinking that they'll never be able to meet these expectations. And as a result, men are just giving up on dating because they feel like they can compete against those fantasy relationships that we see online. And I think it's very, very dangerous because it can lead to self-esteem issues as men feel like they're never gonna be good enough. And this can result in anxiety, depression. So yeah, it's a very, very concerning problem.
Women who once believed they could always do better are looking around and realizing there's no one left to choose from because the men they ignored, rejected, or dismissed have found happiness in peace, independence, and solitude.
Half of Gen Z men no longer actively even trying to date. They're not even trying. And so the question is, well, why is that happening for women? Women, first off, are dating older. They want more economically and emotionally viable men, and that usually means older men. In addition, when young women are lonely, they have much better social networks. They have much stronger friend networks, whereas guys become kind of lone wolves and kind of literally sequester from everyone and everything.
Most people who genuinely deeply want to find love, they don't really want to date. they want to find love. I didn't want to, when I was being more intentional in my love life, it's not like dating was the most appealing thing in the world to me. I'm an introvert. I don't want to leave the house most of the time. So the idea that I have to go and talk to a person in order to end up in a relationship with them feels like an annoying step. But finding love is something I truly believe pretty much all of us want. On the deep, deep human level, we want to find love. And when you frame it, when you talk about dating, people are like, oh, dating, I don't want to date. But when you talk about finding love, it's hard for people to say that's not something that's important to me.
What we're witnessing is a correction, not a collapse, not a crisis. A correction in a market that has been unbalanced for too long. Men are saying no, not out of spite, but out of wisdom. No to chaos. No to disrespect. No to relationships that work against them.
Those men who had no access to women growing up, either because they were overweight, they had bad skin, they just didn't have any way with girls, they weren't athletic, whatever the reason was, catches up on them a lot as they age. So they might settle down, might get married, but they will crave women and female attention, particularly young women, because that's the women that rejected them the most when they were young, because they're trying to make up for lost time, particularly if they make money and particularly if they change their appearance. So if you meet a man that has always had the women he wanted, you learn very quickly all women are the same. You don't have to be obsessed with them. And they are more likely to be stable partners. You meet a man who did not receive the women he wanted growing up. He will be that man that is in his 40s and 50s and still flying to Thailand in the summer trying to access a young, beautiful woman. Or he'll be that guy that will leave his wife and kids because another girl gave him a bit of attention.
And the ones who understand this shift are the ones who are quietly winning.
What?
What type of bullshit is this? So I came across this post and this woman says, so men now prefer to be single because they are broke? I don't know what YOH means. Somebody please fill me in. What have we become? First of all, if a man is worried about dating and he ain't got shit in his bank account, his priorities is all the way fucked up. Even if men decided to date while they were still broke in today's time, especially this generation, they're still going to be single. Majority of these women do not want to date any man that cannot do anything for them in any type of way, shape, or form. They're not looking for true love. They're not looking for these Cinderella-ass happy endings. They're looking for business opportunities. The way you look can only get you so far. That'll get you in the door if they're attracted to you. But after that, if you ain't got a bag, if you ain't got no social status, if you ain't got some type of motion whatsoever, they will cut you off in a heartbeat. And the funniest thing about all this is they will call you broke because you can't afford to do something for them that they can't afford to do for themselves. And last thing, even if she does decide to date you while you're broke, oh, best believe she got another nigga on the side that's doing for her what you can't.
That's today's chapter of the Sigma Chronicles. Subscribe for more unfiltered reality.